Right about where we left off this time around. And I noticed that they're talking about the Fumium being from the ocean floor, which indicates a little bit of Bioshockiness going on here with Adam and stuff like that. The spiders were friendlier this time around, not in the combat, but that they dropped more repair kits this time around, which I don't think they dropped any before. So now, they must have not dropped any before because I had exactly one. That was the point of me making that mistake earlier. Oh god, I forgot there's one behind me. Uh-oh. Please die. Please die. Please die. There we go. One-on-one, dude. So this guy also applied a status effect to me last time that was doing tons of damage. So we need to desperately avoid taking hits at all from him if we can. When he did that, I started bleeding. Which was, I think, was doing his damage over time, regardless of whether I was getting hit anymore. Whew! Got some irregular movements to worry about with the rapid strafe. Yep. Something to worry about. Ooh, crit! Oh, he waited for me. Dude waited for me. Okay, now we need to heal now. There I go, healing like I'm supposed to. He's hard. Let's shoot him a bit. There we go.
Ugh, these creepy little things.
Bleeding effect. When suffering from deep gashes in the flesh, the target takes a small amount of damage over a short period of time, but greatly increased damage while moving. Mechanical enemies do not bleed. Oh. The Arxpedia 1 of 5. So the damage over time isn't big, but it punishes you for moving. Is it that you take damage? Do you take a spike of damage every time you move, or do you take, or do you just take bonus damage from hits that happen while you're moving, I wonder? I think the game was just reminding me to press R to heal. Nope. Not below half yet. I'd like to be efficient with it if I can. Look at me hitting F5, remembering to do the basic game mechanic that makes me not lose tons of time. Oh, goodness. Look at that. Okay. So we got... I guess in chess it stacks into stacks of 8 or something, because that was 2 separate stacks of ammo. We have a rusty dagger. So let's actually look at my stats now, because I've never had a comparison until now, but now I do. Crowbar. Best crate opener around, 6 damage. Double damage to destructibles, so you destroy crates and stuff faster. Actually, it's triple damage. 35% bonus damage to mechanical enemies, which is every enemy we've seen. No, not every enemy we've seen so far. In fact, that explains why I do a bunch of damage to most enemies, but I only do 6 damage to the weird bug we saw earlier. Everybody else has been a mechanical enemy so far, clearly. But that thing wasn't. And that thing was only taking 6 damage, so the crowbar is weaker against that kind of foe. Attack time is 1/4 of a second, 1.25 cooldown. Alright. Rusty Dagger. 7 damage. Bonus damage against organic enemies. It is a little faster, both in cooldown and attack time. You are dual wielding, losing 35% precision, thus making both your weapons less likely to hit. You can alleviate this by investing circuit points into dual wielding, which I believe is that its own yep, that's its own dedicated thing right here. So if you max out dual wielding entirely, it doesn't actually increase your precision like it does in some games. It actually perfectly stops exactly where the limit was before. So now there's just no more. There's no more limit. No more reduction for dual wielding. Instigator. Striking enemies while dual wielding has a chance of granting melee speed and firing speed. So 25% chance of a 5-second bonus where you get 30% bonus speed of attacking. Combat utility capacitor. While dual wielding, melee weapons steal integrity from targets, and ranged weapons deal more damage on critical hits. So 5% melee damage dealt is gained as integrity. And then you have double damage on the crits, 100% extra bonus damage on crits on ranged. This highly experimental module can detect fumium tanks and spots in robots and amplified organisms. Contact weapons, guided by a polarizing mechanism best explained as magnets, can then transfer some of the integrity from the target to the rig itself. The module can also improve aiming with handguns at these critical parts, which can deliver devastating damage. For this to work, the person needs 2 independent rods, one in each hand, for the polarizing mechanism to work reliably. So that's life leech. That is not to be ignored. In fact, before I spend points in any of the weapon specializations, I'm going to finally read through all of them. Just I don't want to marathon through them all at the beginning of the playthrough, but I will read them before I start investing in weapons at all, because we need to know for sure. And that's a good thing to find out, is that the dual-wielding tree has life leech built into it. You can see why, though, because there's clearly a blocking tree. And so, yeah, this game seems to have the ability to have shields in your offhand, so dual-wielding would contrast against that. And so a life leech would be a good way of compensating for the fact that you're not using a shield, which kind of is important. Dual limb motorics allows to wear 2-handed weapons in each hand, but the 2-handed weapons deal less damage. So it's monkey grip, essentially. So you can dual wield large weapons, but each weapon will do 15% less damage than it would have done normally, which does not seem like a huge penalty, which is probably why it's hiding here at the very end of the tree. Let's look at blocking, since we have something to contrast it with. Each rank increases the chances to block direct attacks with shields. Starts at 6%, ends at 30%. So 30% bonus shield block chance, probably in addition to some percentage that's either built into your character or is on the shield stats. Shield braces, reinforced and more stable grip, allows you to equip advanced shields. So there's shields you literally can't use without a certain skill. Reflector. Added reflected layering returns a portion of incoming damage back to the attacker when you successfully block. 75% retaliation damage. So if you successfully block, it goes right back to them. Shield bouncer stuns the enemy on a successful block. Huh. So successfully blocking an enemy causes them to get stunned and damage to be retaliated. Makes me wonder if shield blocking might be difficult. No, I think it might be... No, well, it seems to be a percent chance, though. The brief thought of, like, because of the sheer penalties of blocking, I had a thought that maybe it was going to be almost like Dark Souls parrying, when you have to just nail the timing, and that's why there's such heavy penalties for doing it correctly. Risk reward and all that. But no, it's probably passive, going by these percentages, so equipping a shield probably just makes it happen automatically. In which case, these are just nice things to have. Probably stacks super well with all those other effects that the defensive rig specialized in. At the moment, I would say dual wielding seems slightly more likely. Let's go, because it's related, let's go into Armorer. I'll go around to checking out the individual weapons later, I think. So, wow. Each rank increases your overall durability, 30% integrity. Holy crap. 150% bonus integrity. That's just your health bar. Like, those are not minor upgrades. Reinforcer. Reinforcing the core of the rig allows you to absorb a portion of incoming direct damage. So you take 15% less damage, period. Fumium armature. Additional layering under the outer shell adds even more durability. 60% bonus integrity, 30% bonus resistance. On top of everything else, when you're just getting more and more integrity already. Damn. That's a tree that makes you very hard to kill. Emergency braces. When a major breach is detected, the emergency system releases a stiffening agent to stem the leak of power, restoring the integrity. It takes considerable time before the system can reactivate. So is this a... Am I correct in saying that that's like a revival? No, it's an integrity threshold of 25%. So for 5 seconds, you restore 10% integrity per second. And that has a 2-minute cooldown. That's... The Armorer tree almost sounds overpowered. Holy crap. So you get 150% bonus integrity, and then you get this, it becomes 100 and... It becomes 210% bonus integrity. And it appears... I don't know if resistance is the same thing as reduced damage taken, because it almost sounds like 45% resistance. And then whenever your health drops below 25%, you heal for 50%, and you can do that every 2 minutes. The system had saved many a life before it was rejected as a dead end in development. Fortunately, some pieces are still in circulation. That is huge. A 10% integrity restoration per second for 5 seconds. That's a 50% heal. Automatically, whenever you get low on health. Wow. Alright, yeah, next time we'll look at the weapon systems, which are actually pretty binary, aren't they? Yeah, so there's 2 melee weapons, blade and blunt, and there's 2 ranged weapons, handguns and rifles, which I'm starting to get both of now. I can't dual-wield rifles, can I? That doesn't make sense. That's what I thought. Yeah, this is a 2-handed weapon. There's the Footman pistol. 20 damage. 3 tile range. 38 damage, lieutenant rifle. 4 tile range, so even longer range. It's understandably slow and has a longer cooldown. If considering that I want to have efficient ammo usage, and I think I'm probably going to specialize in melee attacks, but then switch to ranged attack in like niche situations, the rifle probably fits my playstyle better so far. Problem is which one of these to specialize in. The main thing is that this one does 1 more damage and attacks faster, so it's a better weapon when you ignore enemy types. But this does bonus damage to organic, that one does bonus damage to mechanical, meaning that it's really the density of enemies around here that's going to determine which one's better. Ideally, I'll see which enemies are coming before I reach them, because I would not want to equip both at the same time and get that giant negative all the time. Holy crap. Stole those? Those are all mine? Yep. Let's compare, shall we? Recruit Mantle and Apprentice Outfit, Firm Plating. This gives you 50 Integrity, 2 Combat, 40 Integrity, Energy Regen and Tech, Firm Plating, 60 Integrity, 2 Toughness. So basically each of them matches one of the classes that we essentially picked, with this being the obvious one that matches who I am, basically. Gives me more energy regen, like a decent chunk of it. If my passive is 0.5, then a plus 0.8 is a lot to get. The problem is I don't have tech yet, so there's no reason to equip it yet. So I'd want to go with either combat or toughness. Toughness is very tempting. Let's see. Right now, 10 toughness gives me 10 evasion, 30% bonus integrity. So it gives me 60 integrity, but it's probably going to be a lot more than 60. Yeah, 244. Yeah, it claims to give you 60 integrity, but you end up getting like 100 integrity because of the bonus toughness that it gives you. Because the percentage itself also raises. Whereas combat causes weapon damage and precision. So how much higher would my weapon damage be? Only slightly. The precision might be worth it, but the weapon damage only slightly goes higher. I'm going to stick with the one that makes me tankier, and we'll switch to the tech item when I actually have tech to use with it. For now, it's useless. I just attacked things. Alright. Repair kit. Silver key. Happy to see those. Pounding. Ever since working here at the sea level floor, I noticed this weird constant sound. It's coming from below. Sounds like pounding. Almost like a heart. Just a huge one. Is it the mining gear deep down there in the sea? At the Fumium core? Ben Kinley, Tallier. Right. Briefly thought that I hadn't checked that one, but it's because it's locked. Also, is there anywhere I haven't tried yet? Seems complete. Except the very beginning, technically. Do I seek to go all the way back? Can I go all the way back? With the seam, I can. Maybe I should double check to make sure the map's filled in. Because, right, if I go all the way to the very beginning, I can now get past that, the stuff that was broken at the very beginning. I mean, not broken, the barrels that were blocking me from continuing. Which they probably want you to forget about, right? They're like, oh, we'll obscure this a little bit, and they'll go right past it, and they won't ever remember to go back. I briefly thought that the level design might loop back around. It did not. No reason to go straight. Gotta keep an eye out, because they might spawn enemies back here. To thank us for returning. Oh yeah, you feel the difference of not having that crowbar on you. Secret found. Dirty mags. This secluded nook looked like a perfect place to hide my dirty mags. Nothing beats Fancy Nancy, you know? But some jackass stole them. Hope they don't know they were mine. Adam Cray, Tallier, why would you write that? Why would you write that? Hope they don't figure out the magazines were mine, I say, in a way clearly indicating that I totally want them to catch me and know it was me. Nothing there. Not this time. Just get to fill the map in. So, because we didn't have the auto mapper back when I was here, none of this is on my map. Interesting. Go along with me for a moment as I go through here, just so we can have the satisfaction of a completed map. There we go. So it's worth coming back, giving me a repair kit. Definitely hoped for something a bit more, but no. Repair kit's fine. Probably be overpowered to give me like some sort of genuine relic or something this early on, or like some kind of tech item when we haven't even finished like being introduced to the eventual tutorial explaining them. I've already opened you, right? Yeah. It throws me for a little bit that the lockers don't animate opening, so when I see them only cracked open, I'm like, oh, I need to check that. I'm like, no, I already checked that. That's just what they look like. Oh god. My fingers got a little bit ahead of me. So at the moment, what's my new number? 122. So I passed below 122, and we have the most effective heal. That's a huge boost for a single item gain. Makes sense though, because I was naked before. Your first item should be a big boost if it's compared to not wearing anything at all. So we return with the silver key. This is very encouraging so far. This is basically what I have always been hoping for whenever I see new entries in this genre. I've been hoping it would scratch the same itch that Grimrock did before. That said, there's nothing wrong with a little originality too. There's a few elements that stand out to me as being like, oh, you went that far at being exactly the same. That get to me a little bit, but hey, if it's a genuinely good game, then it won't really bother me that much in the long run. But hope they know why they're using certain mechanics. Hello? Hi. I do. Alright, so this was a mistake. There we go. What? What was that lightning attack you did? Uh-oh. Well, this is how you get in trouble. Time to heal. As I spam attacks. Ooh. Oh, that's a thing to worry about. I really trapped myself here. Okay, let's get out of here. Okay.
The spider dropped something. Might be useful.
So now we know that there are lightning spiders that have AoE explosions. That's something we have to worry about. And I immediately got myself trapped by just trying to take steps back, which is a dumb mistake to make. Basic Discharger. Ooh, do I have it now? Unleash an electrical discharge, causing area damage around you and applying a shock to enemies hit. Yeah, this is what I'm interested in, is I wanted to see the trinkets, the gadgets, and see how much that, like, this is their chance to diverge heavily from parts of Grimrock, is stuff like this, so I'm curious to see how this mechanic works out. Apart from weapons, you can also find various thaumaturgical gadgets you can use in combat to outsmart enemies, or buff yourself up to temporarily become stronger. You use 1, 2, 3, 4 to use them. Gadgets are powerful, but also drain your energy. Yellow bar. Energy slowly replenishes on its own, but you can also increase the maximum amount and regenerate if you wish to use gadgets more often. Does an electrical discharge, causing area damage around you and applying a shock to enemies hit. Shock deals damage over a time period and greatly reduces the target's overall damage output. So it does 20 damage immediately. 4-second shock effect duration, in which they do 50% less damage. Half-second cast time, uses 70 energy, so almost exactly half my current energy, actually. 1 tile radius, so we don't even have to be right with them. I think it'll hit them diagonally. 16-second cooldown. So if we talk about a 16-second cooldown, I currently have a 0.5 energy regen, which means that it will have regenerated 8 energy in the time that it goes through its cooldown, which is obviously a loss overall. I believe that's my energy regen right now, right? Offense, defense, humium, yeah, it would be down here. It just says recharge speed at a percentage, though. There it is. So I have an energy regen of 0.5. Then if I put you on for the bonus energy regen, we now have 146, which means that I can use this twice without having to regenerate at all. But also, in the time that it is regenerating over the course of 16 seconds, I will have recovered... Let's see, we have 1.3 energy regen. Let's just pop out a quick calculator for my own sake. And for the sake of time, 1.3 times 16 equals 20.8. So it's not huge, but we will have recovered a percentage of the cost in that time. That means that in the time it takes to use the basic discharger twice for an overall cost of 140 energy, I will have recovered in that time about 40 energy, which is nearly... It's more than half of the way there towards being able to use it again. So you can't exactly spam it, but I might be able to get it used a few times per fight. Let's see it in first person. Oh yeah, it definitely hits diagonal squares. And now we can see the energy regeneration in real time. Okay. That door is closed behind me too. Oh, and stepping on the pressure plate doesn't reopen it. Maybe the levers do? Shock effect. When struck by an electrical shock, the target's damage output is greatly reduced, and they take some damage over a short period of time. Enemies capable of producing each shock are resistant to all shock effects themselves. Let's see. So that opened the door just fine. No lever in this room. So just to clarify on the earlier thought I was talking about before people get confused by it, because I talk about wanting stuff like Grimrock because I talk about the thing I like about Grimrock, and then of course I say stuff that sounds like criticizing this game for being like Grimrock. I just want to be clear, like, my point is that there's specific elements of Grimrock that I prefer, and I would like to see games go more in that direction, or not to say that the other games shouldn't exist, but that I want to find and get to play more games that seem like that kind of stuff. But it doesn't mean that the game has to be the same game. And so this game does threaten a little bit to be closer and closer to being the same game. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, it's just less impressive than it could have been otherwise. But I'm waiting to see if maybe in the later game it diverges more.
The spider fits into my rig. Let's see how they like being shocked.
It's kind of like how in Dark Souls I like that there's like a careful, methodical, timely combat system that has a specific pacing to it that really captivates me. But that doesn't mean that an RPG has to be a Souls-like. Bye-bye.
Double kill.
Fumium. As you destroy enemies, your rig will gain Fumium and after acquiring enough Fumium, you will gain a level, increasing overall power. You will also gain circuit points, which you can use to unlock or improve circuits. Circuits significantly improve your power in the given area. At higher ranks, you will unlock modules, which further increase your power in various ways. You will come across Fumium capacitors, which grant you Fumium permanently when you consume them. So now I can buy things, including potentially just faster energy regen if that's what I want to start off with. An option. 30% faster recharge speed would also be pretty good, because that would mean... What is it? Because this was 16 seconds? That'd be noticeably faster, which increases the chance of it being usable in the same fight more than once. Meanwhile, tech affects your gadget damage and your overall energy total. So that's a double whammy right there. Oh. It's kind of not, actually. So it's... Energy regeneration is not based on a percentage, right? It's a flat regen rate. Yeah, I think the 1.3 energy regen, I don't think that's 1.3% of your energy. I think it's exactly 1.3 regen, which means that it doesn't regenerate your overall percentage faster when you upgrade the other things. It'll be a flat rate, and the increased cap is just more akin to having an overall larger capacity for the stuff. I'm tempted to go in a few different ways, because one of which being that I can get a huge boost to integrity if I go down armor, and that's very tempting. Now that I've finally leveled up, I think it's time to start looking into my weapon upgrades here. So, 30% blunt weapon damage and blade weapon damage. Both of them cap out at 150%. Blunt weapons, joint discharge. Gain a chance to shock your targets with the blunt weapons. Shock deals damage over a time period and greatly reduces the target's overall damage output. So, they do half damage, you have a 15% chance of doing this to them. Okay. Kinda had that built in, though, if I want to use it. Concussion unit. Attacks with blunt weapons give you a chance to stun the target, rendering them unable to move or attack for a short time. So 3 second... So this makes them do half damage for 5 seconds. This one stuns them for 3 seconds. Between the two of them, you have something vaguely like a 1-3 chance of doing something like that. Blunt weapons now also damage enemies next to the primary target, 50% splash damage. That's pretty cool. That is actually really cool. Because the most dangerous thing in this kind of game seems to be getting outnumbered and not being able to maneuver, so doing splash damage could greatly fix that. So now to blade weapons, Lacerator. Blade weapons now have a chance to cause bleeding in organic enemies you hit. Bleeding deals minor damage over time but greatly increased when they move. As they spill more blood, does not work on mechanical targets. So 25% bleed chance, that's huge. This is a big risk-reward system right here, which is that they give you a system where you're doing tons of bonus damage potentially to organic enemies, but you do no bonus damage to non-organic enemies. That's a significant split down the middle. Relasher. Quick and reactive movement sometimes allows you a secondary attack immediately after using a blade weapon. So it gives you a chance of doing an immediate attack. That's good. So you basically flurry of blows crossed with a chance of bleeding. Limb motorics. Limb motorics greatly increase your chances of landing hits with blade weapons. So big precision bonus. And I don't think it matters if you're fighting robots at that point. You're still getting the bonus attack, and you're still getting the bonus hit chance. These are very appealing skill sets. One of them stuns and does splash damage. One of them is just the chance of doing bonus damage, significant boost to chance of hitting, and even doing a bleed against organics. Handguns, I assume these are... So you get 150% rifle damage, or with handguns you get 150% handgun damage and bonus ammo salvaged. Each rank increases handgun damage and the amount of ammo you salvage from drops. So if you specialize in handguns, you'll start getting bonus ammo, which is probably for the best because you're using more shots to do less damage. Stabilizer, 50% handgun precision, 50% handgun firing speed. Clustering unit. Handgun bullets now ricochet off target, bouncing between nearby enemies and objects, dealing decreased damage per bounce. Oh my god. So handguns get chain lightning. My favorite spell to grab in most RPGs, but it being attached to a handgun is pretty funny. 3 bounces, 50% damage multiplier per bounce. So first bounce does 50% damage, second bounce 25% damage, third bounce 12.5% damage, so it's a significant loss. Rifles spend less ammunition when firing, 1 less ammo used. Do they normally use more than 1 ammo? I didn't check that, I guess. Yeah, 2 ammo usage. It does say that. I missed that detail. Whoops. So that takes down to 1 shot. Prodding unit. Rifle shots knock enemies away. Piercer. Rifle shots pierce through enemies, dealing damage to all of them in a line. Also very good. So this is very appealing. I'm happy. I am actually very happy with this skill tree. In some games that have skill trees, they have a tendency to have too many passive effects that are like 1% health regen and 1% this crap, and it's like the percentages are too minor to feel significant, and also the skills are often feel really insignificant. They did a good job at making basically every skill feel like a significant bonus to your character, to the point where basically all of these are appealing, and I could see myself going down any of them basically. So first question is, do I want to specialize in energy regen rate? I mean, I might as well go all in on my original idea, right? Let's start here. As tempting as it is to put my first point into armor for a 30% health boost, one question is going to be, how quickly do I level up? And how reasonably can I go through this tree? I'm also wondering, we won't know till I reach rank 3, do I get this skill automatically by reaching rank 3? Or do I hit rank 3 then get the option of buying it? I would logically assume that I have to buy this separately, but it could be either way. It also might mean something else. This is a circuit and that's a module. There might be a different system for buying modules, so it's hard to say. Or it might be that you just unlock this automatically when you get to rank 3. But if it is automatic, then that would indicate that would indicate that this might be a choice, and that raises a whole other thing. Because that would mean that I can probably only get one or the other, right? So basically, do you want life leech, or do you want energy leech when you kill enemies? The fact that they're branching might indicate that. If you pay for these things, that increases the chance that you probably get to buy whatever you want. But if you get it automatically for getting this, there's a decent chance that that would then mean that this is a binary split. Like it's basically like the tech tree was handled in StarCraft. So we will see as we go. I'm gonna go down to energy for now though, because I like having a lightning attack. Cha! I also probably shouldn't just do that at random. Ooh, look at that regen. Oh yeah, that already feels better. And I got my first actual energy regen item to help the non-tech people that just spent a bunch of their stuff right here, all willy-nilly. How do I equip it? Energy cell. Oh, permanently increases your fumium supply. Oh. Oh. It looks so much like the energy cell that I thought it was going to be an energy regen, but no, it's just experience that's on the floor. You know, where people like to keep their experience. That's the first floor beaten, isn't it? There we go. So, tutorial over, I guess. Let's get serious.